what do you think about the NIL, name, image, likeness bill that was passed?
Tell me more about it.
So yeah, so a high school kid or a college kid can make money now
Oh, okay.
off their image, off their social media, off jersey selling. They can, sign a shoe deal before they go to the league. So yeah, they players can make their own money instead of having to wait to get to the league.
Well, I tell you, like, if you think about it, like, if and it's complicated, obviously, and far beyond this show. I mean, we could talk about this for hours and weeks, right? And
Yeah,
but it's interesting. Just a few points that I think are relevant is just that if you think of someone that may have wanted to continue their education, which I value as an educator, being a professor, I think that there's a lot of goodness in there. But at the same time, you have these opportunities that maybe won't be there due to an injury or other things, And
for
so if
sure.
an athlete has an opportunity, to earn money for themselves and their family, that's the American way. Now, if you think about then going to college, maybe it's a way also that they could stay in college, they can get their education, but at the same time, they can get they can make it so that it's easier for them to do that. Because if you think about it, like, what if you do come from a low income community, as an example, and you've got a family that basically is waiting, for you to do well, so that you could help to support the family, or maybe you just want to do it for your family. Your family has no expectations, but whatever, why should that kid have to, drop out of college and then start working in a really isolated, kind of thing that they may not have the maturity for at that time. I certainly, as I think back at how I was at 18 or 19 or in those earlier years, there's so much more to life to learn, and they're going to learn as they're in that context. But I think in today's society, it's so focused that it makes it hard for them to really appreciate life outside, and they get it from a tunnel vision. So if you think of like corporate mentality, a lot of times, like if someone, just as an example, if we didn't have diversity, you have someone that's just really, really rich, and and they have all that money. People have a tendency to just acquiesce and say that they're right all the time, right? Because they have money, and by definition, they have power, they have influence and stuff like that. So everybody kind of wants to jump on there. So they don't get the straight story. See, that's what also college does too, is that you're not only getting educated in the classroom, you're getting educated by other people that maybe don't have those biases as much. If you're a star, maybe a little bit of that comes in. But, if someone starts to have a living as they're going to college, it just seems to me it makes things possible that might otherwise not have been there. And what's the harm in that? I think, the transparency of it alone, makes it, important, right? Like, if, so I don't know. I have a, what is the sense of going through college? Like if I was going through college, I was doing landscaping when I was going through college to make some extra money. And because boxing doesn't have any, they had a thing called Operation Gold, but you'd have to, be like the top one or two athletes in that weight class at that time to get any funding. It wasn't all that much. So how's that going to get me through school? I've got to work. So I'm doing landscaping. Well, if I came up with a brilliant business idea, I would be able to go and do that and still box. So what would be the harm if I was to get, that business developed, well, this is just another business if you think about it, so
Yeah,
it's shining a shoe or what, or, like signing a shoe or doing something like you mentioned. I don't know. It just, like, I see the complexities on the other side, but,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
It's pros and cons for sure.
yeah. And nowadays, there's, it's a different world than it was before too. I just hope that it doesn't get abused as far as people trying, the larger schools, pulling out the kids and using recruitment strategies. And I just hope it's up and up. That would be important.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. For sure they're gonna do that. They're gonna, use all the tactics in the world to get the kid, especially the big schools. But
yeah. So there may be that kind of pressure too. It just kind of adds up to the more immediacy, kind of expands that out a little bit, but hopefully they've got good mentors and people that they can talk to.
Yes, yes. And I guess that's it for now. You want to give your info so they can contact you?
Yeah, if someone wants, they have a question or whatnot, it's Top Science. If they just hit Top Science, TOPP Science, that'll get there. Or they could just put my name, Brad Donohue, at UNLV, and it will show up. And I'd be happy to answer questions. I love it.
All right. Thank you once again for, sitting down with me, and see you guys later. Peace.
Thanks, David. It's one of the best interviews